on and became so afraid that maybe it could lead to that. And once it came to that, it is no longer an issue of protests against hunger and all that. It will now become a direct protest against Nigeria and Russia. We should remember what happened between Sweden and Denmark in the 1960s. You remember, Sweden and Denmark, just because of flag. The flag issue became a problem between the two nations. Just ordinary flag. So it will have triggered that kind of security, dilemma between Nigeria and, of course, Russia. We can also not forget the issue of Georgia and Russia. In 2008, we all remember that, we were all students of international relations at that time, and it happened. As at that time, it was the flag. When Georgia started, hoisting, flags in certain territories that Russia found to be theirs, the tension rose that led to the war and others. Even in Slovenia, so many other places. You see, that will have, launched another dimension to international security implication of that very action in the northern parts of Nigeria. So, and also, the security implication there is that there is now confusion in the security apparatus of this nation. The Nigerian soldiers or the army is saying that some of these other people are saying that they really wanted to produce the flag of the Nigerian army, the armed forces of the army, the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is supposed to be black, red, and green. Like the black, the resources, the red, the strength, of the soldiers, and the others, and the green, which is the vegetation and the others of. And they also say that, that the protesters are saying that they wanted to produce the flag of the Nigerian military armed forces as a way of, asking them to come and take over or something like that. Which, even if it is what they intended, is a treasonable felony. It's a treasonable felony. But currently, the Nigerian security apparatus is being confused by that particular action. They don't know whether to get into action against the people or say action or something like that. So there is confusion in the land. So generally, and the diplomatic sector, that particular action should be watched. It should be watched. These other pocket handkerchief nations in the West African region are also watching. They know that they can have volunteers in Nigeria, people they can easily align with, using the instrumentalism and support of Russia to get into Nigeria, especially now that there is great scramble in the West African sub-region. So Nigerians have shown that they are disposed to be, co-opted into the sub-regional vanguard that is led by Russia at the moment, which is not a very good signal in the situation for the Nigerian nation. So there are so many things to be said, but let the discussion continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. I think we've listened to the three principal discussants. We are going to throw the floor open now for interventions. And all we need to do at different levels is people joining online to raise their hands. I'm seeing one hand already. And those here, raise your hand here. I've seen Isimri.
In terms of intellect, we should channel it towards education of the populace. Populace knowledge is very key. Why do I say so? If you watch in Nigeria and some other places, what we are having is a situation of what they say, the more things change, the more things remain the same. Now, every election, national, people tend to vote their anger. And what is their anger? As long as it is not well with them, they don't care about whatever the person in position has done. All they know is he should leave another person. So their mentality of change is what is paramount in the mind of people without checking what they're changing to. Now, bringing forward to the issue of Russian flag. Now, that flag is a signal, just like the prof said. Flags are not produced by poor people. All the arrangement flag, they are not done by poor people. It's well organized people that, just like Prof said, some people are sending message to some foreign influence telling them, come, we need your partnership. You have people here. Bring what you have, and we'll bring what we have. And what will happen in such a situation? The people will get what they want, which is change to new leadership. The person that you're bringing in will get what it wants. And what is that thing they want? The same thing the people in control want, which is resources. They will come in. It's the same thing the people you are pushing away are having is what they will come to take, resources. And when they come, the emasculation continues. Now, no nation on earth is immune to foreign influence. No nation on earth, whether Israel, United States, Russia itself, there are foreign influences. But the idea of people knowledge is that let us make the average person on the street understand these intrigues so that as much as you can't control foreign influence, let's get the best out of it in terms of human security, which is the whole essence of what they cause, all the reasons we've been doing so far. I love the fact that it all revolves around human security. Let's get the much, let's use that people pressure to get whichever devil is in charge or angel that is in charge. Let us maximize the benefits for human security. And that boils down to what? Making the average person on the street have the same knowledge that the professor have. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. You seem you can now reduce, you can now put down your hand.
I think the confusion that Professor Okafor raised, I'm still battling with it. And my worry is that at this point, our security agents are supposed to have known a bit of what transpired with regard to the flag. The Nigerian Army's flag and Russian flag are almost the same thing. The difference is placement. One white comes on top, the other one red comes on top. I think that's just a position, but it's the same color. It's the same color. You check the Nigerian Army's flag. The one you are talking about is a different one. Nigerian Army's flag, white, blue, and red. And it is the same thing for the Russian, sorry, the French flag. So what what I'm trying to say is that the protesters were chanting songs, making noise. Was there at any point they mentioned France or any foreign? No. They were chanting military, that military should come and take over. That was the interpretation of what they were saying. And up till this moment, nobody had mentioned anything they said, at least verbally, connecting the protest to any foreign country. So, with that, you can see that the song or whatever like they are holding. And if this is the case, I expect the Nigerian security agents to come out clear on that, so that it won't be a case of blank spaces for the masses, fill in the blank spaces. And then we start inviting issues that shouldn't even exist in the first instance, calling on France that they have been invited, whether they know something about it, and stuff like that. Those arrested already. The tailor that made the flag is already in custody, and they must have generated some information. Those waving the flag, they are already, they must have gotten some information from that. So, in summary, I'm trying to say that at this point, we are not supposed to be guessing. The security apparatus, they are supposed to have come out to say this is the position, that these people want the military to take over and they are waving their flag, or that they are waving this flag because they want to show solidarity to a foreign country. The delay in that is dangerous. And so far, to the extent that the people were chanting songs, they were making noise, and all we have heard so far is that they were talking about the military, soldier. I think we should limit it to that instead of expanding the scope of discussion to cause more confusion. That's my take on that. So we should get clear on that, have that focus before we attack the issue. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. I think that he has actually made very salient contribution here. What I can get from him, in addition to other things said, is that the silence of the security institutions in Nigeria is not gold in here. That their silence is not helping, is leaving spaces for Nigerians and indeed foreigners to be filling in blank spaces. I don't know whether there's another person that has something to say. I'm not seeing more hands there. I want to see more hands. Isimile is raising hand again. Kechuku is raising hands. Any other person? I'll take it in queue. Isimile, is there anything you want to clarify before okay will come in?
Yes, briefly, just in response, we have security people here too. Just in response to the last speaker about their being silent. No, they're not silent. Thank God you have some visible actions that have been taken, which you are aware. There are also actions that have been taken, which you are not aware. The point here is that this is a democracy, like we all clamor for. And the actions is not a draconian system, So when you have human rights issues and democratic tenets, certain actions tend to look slow because they are doing a balancing act. And take note, people sponsoring these things are highly intelligent. Most of these things they are doing come with booby traps. They're not things you respond to the way they expect you to respond because it's actually designed to make you respond that way. So there are sections and people whose job is to analyze these things and come out with a response that takes care of human rights and takes care of being proactive and takes of image of government and all whatnot, all lumped into together. So that's just my point on that.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Good afternoon, Prof. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Okay. Firstly, I would like to say, when it comes to situations of this nature, of this protest that we had, that is still going on, the government, they refuse to take the message which the people are passing, which is the clamor of the people. And that is where the flag of Russia came in, because there's a video I have in my phone that I got on internet that the people are talking about the Russian government and how they are the kind of government they are practicing over there. I can bring it up so that we all see it. And what they are really passing through that message, the message they are really passing is, why can't Nigeria emulate the kind of government which the Russian people are bringing up, practicing over there? And which was the reason they started showing off that Russian flag just to pass a message. At times, the government are supposed to pick up the messages which the people are really sending than the negative part of it, bringing up Russian participation into our protests or the wronging part in the protest. So that is my submission, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I have a hand there. Nine Computing Technologies. The name is not coming out. I don't know whether the person is done.
Yes,
Yes,
I
you
am.
can, please.
My name is Peter Ebuatu. I'm just joining to listen to this because I'm concerned, seriously concerned. And my concern is about how this thing touches between freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and our national harmony, cohesion. That is my major concern, because the issue now is not just about but protest and the expression of this our freedom obviously be monitored. Either government comes up with for protest, or you will see even our relation with the, diplomatic relation.
Okay, Peter, it seems we've lost you.
But the explanation that this thing is from, the explanation that this thing is Army flag is not true, because we know Army flag, we know Russian flag. Simple, just like as Professor explained. So I just wanted people to address it between respecting our freedom of expression in subsequent protests and the issue of national cohesion. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Peter. Let's listen to Chukwemeka Azali City. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
after Chukwemeka, Roland.
Thank you very much, Prof. I just joined this lecture very lately, but I think I could introduce what the discussion is all about. Now, on this flag, Russian flag thing, I think this is not the first time in Nigeria where of another country is hosted. I remember previous years, some years back, when the first time they held Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, some of the followers that you are protesting, you are waving a U.S. American flag, and nobody saw anything wrong with it. Now, then we have Palestine, this Israeli-Palestine conflict. Last time in Kanu, they also protested with Palestine flag, and there's no issues about it. I think the problem here is because it's the message, or maybe the disintention of the protesters, and again the activities of Russia and Wagner in sub-Saharan Africa. I think that's where it seems to be raising all this dust. I think the government or the military or the players are concerned because recently in Mali, in Niger and Burkina Faso, similar thing happened. And when it happened, you see how Russia intervenes, and you see the part they play. So there is this fear that if something is not done, this is an indirect invitation of the Russian people to do exactly what they are doing in Niger and other places in Nigeria. So when these security operatives react the way they are reacting, I wouldn't blame them much. Although the only issue I have there is, if waving flag is is crime or this serious, why didn't you start earlier? To make sure no other flag is waved in Nigeria during protests of whichever way. That's the only problem I have with it. Thank you, Prof.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, Roland. You can use this.
Thank you. Thank you, the director, the institute, for this program. Thank you, professor that has spoken, Professor Collins. So I like the debates between on the issue of flag, but it just reminds me of the saying, permit me to say Sokoto and Shokoto. So they're the same. So if you look at my study on these issues around protest movement and all that, shows that these things have happen in waves. The current wave of these things. So if you look at what is happening in Burkina Faso, Mali, and all that. First, dissatisfaction with governance. Second, protest movement, some also in form of insurgency, which are all parts of deteriorating protest movement. Next, Russia comes in allegedly. Next, the military takes over. So it seems that there is that relationship between the Russia, coming in and the military taking over. So whether they are flying Russian flag, it could be that that flag signifies both Russia come in and also supports our military to take over. In fact, a week before this protest, I was across the Northeast, and they were already meeting it in some places that the military is there. This is based on, what I heard on everyday street discussion, that the military is better. So it could be, yes, Russian flag. There's that relationship between Russian military. If you look at the waves of military takeover in Africa, okay, so whether it is Russia, it is military, they are all going the same way. My simple take on this is that, again, one of the things I've seen about government response is that there is also need for, or there is also attempt by a group of people who perhaps benefit from, the media something, asking that instead of addressing the root something, that government should invest more in the media, to tell the people what the government is doing. And if you reflect on what the president's speech, you could see that he followed the advice of this media expert. Instead of addressing the root issue, he was telling the people what he was doing. That's not the issue. To address the issue, we must come back to the issue of governance and address the root issues of all these things. Investing in media does not change the mindset of the hungry man. And I think we must address that. Thank you very much. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Professor Frank Collins, you're raising.
I hope I'm here now. Yes. Yeah. You see, it's based on what my friend Professor Odum said. That the people were all shouting, that they want the military to take over. I want to disagree with him, because the message of the protest, is very clear. In as much as a section of the protesters were saying that they wanted the military to take over, there were also, and there are also some others that are saying that it must be Russia. You see, in the course of these discussions, I went online and I saw a number of clips on that, and I would like the anchorman to play that particular 1 minute clip. You see a situation where the protesters were saying, we want Russia, we want Russia. I have it here. So which clears that particular, dimension of the discussion. So it is very clear that some of the protesters were really calling for Russia, while some others are also calling for the military intervention. And based on what my friend said, Dr. Kuli, there could be a synergy between the two, because if Russia is to come into Nigeria, it must come through the army, the soldiers, the military intervention, based on our experience in some of these West African countries. I just hope that
they are capitalists. They are actually exploiting our resources. Our leaders have been their puppets, and we cannot take it anymore.
Repeat.
People are dying because of hungry. Let President talk and remove this one subsidy. We are looking for help from Russia.
Russia is communist. The West and the IMF, they are capitalists. They are actually exploiting our resources. Our leaders have been their puppets, and we cannot take it anymore.
So you see now, the devil that so the Nigerian government has a great role to play, in terms of finding a way of handling this situation, because if it gets out of hand, it's going to be very dangerous for this nation. And tomorrow's event is also very pivotal in this direction. So Nigeria should do everything possible within our powers to know how to handle tomorrow, because tomorrow might bring in another dimension to the whole discussion. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much. I think Okechukwu just sent this video also.
Okay,
You know, he
let's
said he
see.
had a video to share, and as we were about talking, the video came in, and when I was streaming it, I found out it's the same thing that has just been presented. But as a matter of fact, I think we have actually engaged ourselves for almost, because we started late, almost an hour, 40 minutes. You know, you don't know how time flies. Most of the things that have been discussed today, all of us have listened to the different levels of interventions and different worries and situations that have been explained by both the major discussants and some persons that came in through interventions. I want to thank you so very much, and want to apologize for one. We are not going to leave this out. The recording of what we've done today, we're going to streamline it and bring out from there some key points that we can take that is arising from today's discussion. And I also want to tell you that the Institute is promising to sustain this kind of discussion. If we can't do that fortnightly, we'll do that this once every month. But I think what is very, very urgent in follow-up to today's discussion is the wave of social movement that is sweeping across the world. You know, when we have social movements in the world, countries that have challenges of nation building have difficulties in resisting some of those movements. And the consequences are usually very far-reaching. Today, it is the End Bad Governance in Nigeria. Yesterday, and still going on, is the Gen Z movement in Kenya. When Nigeria began the End Bad Governance movement, Ghanaians also started their own. In UK, there is a social challenge that is going on currently. In Bangladesh, the president was chased out from the presidential palace, and an interim government has taken over. And different parts of the world is actually facing anarchy of civil society movement arising from challenges of governance in many parts of the country of the world. And we are, within the next 1 or 2 weeks, the Institute intends to be talking to it, because our problem here is that it's happening today. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Remember, by tomorrow, there's going to be a 1 million man march. And this 1 million man march is also an extension of this kind of social movement. The social movement, the one we had last time that had a general follow-up by everybody, that's the NSAS movement, generated what ordinarily would have been a foundational reform in the Nigerian security institution. But unfortunately, we appear to have lost the benefit that would have been driven from that. And therefore, we need to look at all these things. What is the major driver? Where are we heading to? What are the implications of this movement? And how do we, as a matter of fact, advise the state, both security agencies and the government in power to manage the issues of governance, manage the issues of information, manage the issue of social movement? In a study that was conducted about a year, completed about a year ago, it's a PhD research on NSAS movement. There are 3 major issues that were isolated, because the issue then was not whether it was well managed or not. There was a general conclusion even in the body of literature that it was not well managed. The question that came up then was, why was it difficult? I think the study was on police. Why was it difficult for the police to manage this movement very well? Some things were isolated. The philosophy of the security institutions, the philosophy of the police, remembering that police came into the country not to police the Nigerians for Nigerians, but to police Nigeria for the colonial administrators. Has that philosophy been removed? Secondly, what kind of trainings have been given to the Nigerian police? The training, the criminal police pursuit, the anti-riot system. but not the technical part of managing the civil society in the 21st century. The third one, equipments. What kind of equipments are available to the police? And in that report, we isolated some of them and anchoring it on these three major weaknesses. And I was happy, though surprised, that at the beginning of this end bad governance movement at the Ikeja area and at Abuja, I saw the police with their hot water trucks, demonstrating the capacity to pour water on the citizenry. This is what was not there during the NSAS movement. So maybe they're acquiring things. Are they acquiring them in a form that will help them to control the crowd, or in a form that will help them to punish the crowd? If you pour somebody that kind of hot water, I saw them today flashing at Ikeja, the person will turn into a white man. And these are part of the issues. So it may become as bad as shooting the person with a gun. So we are going to talk to it. Our friend Dr. Roland and some of us also have a study on these same social movements, and they within the next 2 weeks. And by the grace of God, we are going to try as much as possible to see the much we can do to make the environment for this discussion better than what we have today. If you see, if this our place is noise proof, any manner of intervention, voice intervention from our side. But unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. We will keep trying and keep believing that going forward, we may be able to provide for a more cozy environment, for a more engaging discussion, so that the world will join us as an institute in line with our objective of flying the flag of the challenges that are associated with conflict, associated with security, and associated with freedom. Once again, I want to thank our presenters today, Professor Yahaya, Professor Kereke, and my own directors, Professor and colleagues. I want to thank for joining us in this side.
comes out of this, we can actually use it to move further. Peace in Nigeria should actually be a concern of all of us. I don't know who is going to bring the transformation. I don't know who is going to bring the change that we need. But whoever God wants to use, let us all make ourselves available for God to use. As for whether we need to end this problem, we just need to. I'm also scared tomorrow the way it's lies about the march. The mind is to put it in prayer. My own little wave, wherever I have a control, I'll keep speaking to people. Peace is priceless. Peace is priceless. There's no way you can put peace with war, and that will take peace. That will take war, no matter whose us is God. So thank you so much to all the speakers, Frank Collins, everybody that spoken. God bless you all for what you're very intact. It is priceless, but it's only God that will pay. Thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. We are coming to the end formally of today's presentation, and I want to again thank all of us. As we started with prayer, it will not be bad for us to end with prayer. And we have with us here, yes, we have with us here very planning to give us a very short prayer as we end this place. I'm hoping to see you students.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, we thank you for this privilege of coming together, of listening to each other. Lord, we lift up Nigeria to your hand. We pray for your peace and divine intervention. Help us in every situation of life. May we not be abandoned. In all things, lead us back to our various destinations. Let your peace be made in our lives and in our hearts. In Jesus' most powerful name, we have prayer. Amen. The Lord be with you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank everybody. Please stay safe and have a good week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
We can close the